Hello again, YouTube, and I'm back with another informational video here, or just a video to let you know what I got going on. This is a generator that I purchased about a year and a half, or maybe 2 years ago. And the purpose of this generator is for, even though I have solar, for a good disaster preparedness type situation, have a backup generator, just in case there's like multiple days of cloudy skies and your solar or your wind is just not cutting it. And also you want hot water, for you and your family, or you got a well pump or something like that, and the solar is just not pumping out enough of the juice, or it's cloudy or something. But anyway, it's always good to have a backup generator. Also, this right here is a Smarter Tools generator, and as you can see right there, it's a dual gas generator. So I can use regular gasoline or a propane tank. That's a 35-pound propane tank. And I got it just for the purpose of this generator. I don't use it, I don't barbecue with it or anything like that. So its sole purpose is for this particular generator. Now, looking at this particular generator, it's a 6200 watt generator with 7500 watt surge, and it's electric start. You can see the keys in there and everything, and you can see some of the features that it has. I can pump out obviously 120 volt AC or 240 volt AC. There is a DC 12 volt plug and obviously various AC plugs, and there's circuit breakers. There's also a digital meter to let you know the runtime hours. I have a standard starter battery, and it's so far it's good to go. And I've got it connected up to my manual transfer switch here, and it goes from inverter to generator, and that's it. Flip it down for inverter, flip it up for the generator, and what happens is this particular transfer switch feeds into this particular circuit breaker here, and once it feeds into this particular circuit breaker, the power is either going to come from from my solar or my generator, and it'll energize these two branches of my circuits. All of these circuits right here are my 120 volt circuits, all of them. Every 120 volt circuit I have in the house resides in this panel. And this particular circuit breaker, this dual circuit breaker here, is a special one that actually feeds into this back feed breaker with this interlock kit. And so once I close this switch from the utility and flip this switch, it will energize these circuit breakers. Now, these circuit breakers these are all of my 240 volt circuits. It's the water heater, the stove, if I want to do something with that, AC, which in a disaster situation, I definitely won't be running that. And the stove, I won't be running that either. But the key thing here is this is for my hot water heater, and these two are for the input side of my inverter, so I can charge my batteries from the generator. So this is the idea behind this. So I have my 240 volt circuits here, and my 120 volt circuits here, and a choice between generator and inverter from this particular piece. Now, I've tested it out. I'm not going to run it now because it's very noisy and you won't be able to hear me talk. But the idea here is I've tested it, and what it does is I've also verified that I can charge my battery. The key thing, one thing that I was worried about was the fact that was the power coming out of here clean enough for my Magnum inverter to actually sense it and say, okay, this is clean power, now I can start charging the battery? And the answer is yes. Now, this is the first time I've tested this with this generator with my setup here. And this with the this particular box right here, this transfer switch was the reason I bought. This generator was the reason I bought this switch here, for the purpose of going between generator and inverter. And so again, in an emergency situation, disaster preparedness, I want to be able to power my entire house without jumping through a lot of hoops. And as you can see right here, the way it's designed, again, from here, okay, whether it's inverter power or generator power, it all goes to this particular circuit breaker, and it energizes these two branches. This particular circuit breaker is just, if I flip it that way, I'm coming. This is the utility, and this is my own personal power source. Utility, and this is me. And regardless, it energizes all branches. Now, in the event of I want a hot water, I hit this, and this will energize, with my interlock, it energize all my 240 volts, so I can get my hot water and I can charge my batteries at the same time. So this is my idea of disaster preparedness. And again, with this right here, propane doesn't go bad. So I don't have to worry about, putting stable or, E85 or ethanol gas and, it going bad or something like that. And during a power outage, usually, some type of disaster situation, usually you can find a gas station somewhere with propane, or you can go somewhere, or have family members bring you a bar. There's so many barbecue grills in a neighborhood, so there's a chance that somebody's got propane. And so this is it right here, and it works great. I got this particular cord. It's about, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20 feet or so, something like that. But if that's not long enough, not a problem. I got another one right there. That one I made. And not only that, but I have another one hanging on the wall, and it's about 15, 20 feet too. So, so obviously you don't run this in the garage when you're, actually trying to produce power, in a disaster. You have it somewhere so, the fumes don't get to you. It's not going to be that bad considering I'm burning propane and not gasoline, but still, there's the oil you have to deal with. So, there is some fumes. And so with this right here, with these cords and everything, I'll take this and I'm going to, when I secure it, I'm going to secure it with this. This is an incredibly heavy chain, and this is a seriously heavy duty lock. And so what I'll do is I'll chain it to my my poles, my solar mounting poles out in the yard. And I got one of those poles that's like solid steel. It's a Schedule 40 steel pipe that's in 4 or 5 feet in the ground. So I don't think anybody's going to take that anytime soon. Also, I won't be running this at night. This will be just running during the day. And again, for purposes of charging my battery bank during a cloudy day or whatever, where I don't really get I'm not really getting the power from the sun, and also to heat the hot water heater or the hot water in my hot water tank. And so this is my idea of disaster preparedness. And I believe I think me and I'm in agreement with many other folks that even if you got a solar or wind system or something like that, you should have some type of backup generator. I would recommend getting some type of dual fuel system so that you can actually get propane in the event of gasoline is in short supply. And with this right here, all I got to run it maybe 3 or 4 hours, and that's it. And that right there, if all you're running it for 3 or 4 hours, this thing should last a very long time, because that's all I need it for, just 3 or 4 hours. And this is already, in a liquid propane. So, once you get through, I think that'll last longer than regular gas, but not sure. But in this case, it really doesn't matter. But anyway, thanks a lot, YouTube, for watching. And if you got any questions, comments, and so forth, just let me know. All right, take care.